Hey, Anthony Eastil here, and today we're with Stacy Levine from Sunrise Building and Remodeling, and Stacy's the outreach coordinator. And today we're going to talk about some of the common questions we have from homeowners who come and visit us.
Right.
Thank you for coming today.
I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course, our pleasure. You're our first guest. We're excited. As kitchen designers, the clients will come in and we'll have conversations about the project and they ask us a lot of things about the contracting process. And that's when we get the opportunity to make a lot of promises that you have to fulfill.
Right.
So we get in a lot of trouble there. But one of the things they ask often is, when can we get started? How long? It's end of March. We'd like to get started by early April.
Right.
How much runway should we give homeowners in getting the project started?
Well, first thing is they need to contact me and explain exactly what they want their vision to be. Whether they come to me and then I send them to you, whether they come to you and you send them to me or us. Basically, I need to hear what everything entails. Do they need walls taken down? Do they need? Is it just a full gut? Are they keeping the same footprint? After that, what I would do is I would hook them up with one of our estimators, and one of our estimators would then go over for a site visit and do a ton of measurements and everything else, and then come back and get their proposal started. So we're already talking about from start to getting the proposal out. That could be already 3 weeks right there.
Gotcha.
And then once the proposal goes out, and if they were to sign, as soon as they sign, that's when everything starts to get ordered from you. And that can take, again, 7 to 9 weeks as well. And then of course permits and everything. So if someone were to come and say they want their kitchen done within a month or so, of course that's physically impossible.
Right.
We want to help them,
Of course.
but it's physically impossible.
Yeah, I find the same thing on our end too. Rushing never goes well for anybody. Your bid's not going to be accurate. Your order's not going to be accurate. Your materials are not going to be selected well. So you think about like maybe a season ahead of time, 3 to 6 months ahead of starting the project. It's a good time to start.
It is.
Great.
Because also you have to think about also our time frame of how booked out we are, and then when can we get you on our schedule.
Right. A lot of projects, homeowners end up working with architects or designers. I assume that adds a little bit of time in there too, right?
Well, it adds a little bit of time, really only if they don't have their plans before coming to us.
Gotcha.
If they did their homework, have their plans, and come to us right away, we can get an estimator out immediately.
Right.
We can't get an estimator out until we have their set of plans, because we're basing our estimate on the plans, among other things as well, but we really need those plans.
So if they don't have final plans, as those plans evolve, the budget's going to evolve, right? The
Exactly.
pricing.
Exactly. And we always say the first conversation we pretty much have with a potential client, and it's really an uncomfortable conversation, but it has to be had. Budget.
Right.
Have to be honest.
Yeah, we find the same thing here. Being honest with the budget's going to get you a better fit in product and in services, right?
Yeah.
What do clients typically try to either not talk about budget, or do they try to give you a lower budget?
They try to give us a lower budget,
Right.
and then what happens is, after all is said and done, when we give our proposal to them, they'll say, oh, well, maybe we have to cut this out, or maybe we have to cut that out. And if they were upfront at the beginning about the budget, we could have already told them that.
Right.
That wouldn't be okay, that wouldn't be feasible in what they were doing.
So more collaborative process if they're more transparent and open
Yeah.
with the budgets, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a very awkward conversation to have.
Right.
You're talking about your personal finances with a stranger.
Right.
But at the same time, it has to be done.
Right. And most jobs you're on, I'm sure you're referred by whether it's an architect or a friend of the homeowner. So hopefully there's a little bit of trust there. I always find that goes a long way
It does.
for
It
making
does.
those conversations
It
easier,
does.
right?
Yeah. And when I'm on the phone with a potential client, I always say, listen, it's not a fun conversation to have. We're not trying to be nosy. We're not judging at all. It's just the way it is.
Right.
We need to know.
Right. Good. Clients also often ask about the permit process. Does your firm get involved in handling that for the clients?
The clients handle their permits on their own.
Okay, good. But you can advise them on
Oh,
the
of course,
process.
yeah.
Great. Great.
Yeah, because they'll need from us insurance and things, workers' comp, liability, yeah.
Good. That's the front end of the project. Let's talk about the actual project now.
The fun part.
Yeah, the fun part. How long am I going to be without a kitchen?
Well, the first thing we need to know also is, are you going to be living in the house while your kitchen's being done? Do you have a space in the house that you can do a makeshift, take your old appliances, put them in the dining room or put them in the basement or the garage, and let's say, typically it could be, you know, obviously several weeks without a kitchen, and we always ask that, you know, let us do our thing, don't come sneaking in and, you know, everything else, and don't come touching, and let us do our thing. No, but it will take several weeks, obviously.
Gotcha. Yeah, we, you know, it's not going to be a really long time without the kitchen while you're in it. We always tell our clients it feels like you're doing this for a really, really long time, but hopefully we're enjoying this kitchen for 5, 10, 20 years after the work is done.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Do you set up maybe temporary spaces for the homeowners?
If they request it. Typically what they do is when we take the appliances out, they'll say, oh, can you just put these over here? You know, set up a makeshift, or the fridge, or they'll use like the laundry room sink for washing dishes and stuff like that.
Microwave and a grill outside.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And especially if you do your kitchen in the warmer weather, your outdoor kitchen is going to be put to use.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you for coming in today. It was great to have a conversation with you.
Great.
Hopefully we'll have a lot more together.
Yeah.
And please reach out to us. Let us know what you'd like us to discuss next time. And we'll have Stacy on again.
Thanks.
Thank you.